to episode 498 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for April 26, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
Man, we had some couple of heavy hitters come out this week.
Yeah.
One was unknown as far as games, and then one was we did know, but it's very confusing why one of them chose to drop. And we'll get into that when we talk about games. But other than that, I mean, in sports is a big week. I know NBA playoffs started. I'm not really watching it, so I don't know what's really going on much. But I know the NFL draft is going on as we speak on this podcast. The first 3 rounds are done, and I've been paying a little attention to it. Just a couple names. I know Washington had 2 picks, the first round and the second round, I want to say, and I don't think we have a third round. But yeah, I know we picked up a offensive tackle, and cornerback. So that's good. So we got some more protection for Dane Daniels, and yeah, we need a corner. So let's see how those things turns out for my team. I don't know what the Ravens did. I didn't really pay attention. Like I said, I was only paying attention. I mean, I barely pay attention on my team, really. It's only because it's on my timeline, because I got Washington stuff on my timeline on Twitter, so I'll see it. So other than that, like baseball, Orioles they're not looking great. They'd be, I guess, bad for what you would say this team should be at. I mean, compared to the last 2 years when we went to the playoffs, we were first place 2 years ago. And last year, basically at the All-Star break, we were kind of doing bad. We had a losing record technically at the All-Star break, but we still made the playoffs because of what we've done before. But yeah, the needs that everybody thought we needed. Yeah, pitching, it's not great. Nationals beat us in the series. They won the first 2 games. We lost the last one. Right now, we're about to play Detroit. As of yesterday, I know it's postponed because of rain, so they have a doubleheader today. But yeah, man, disappointed. I mean, Cedric Mullins, the guy who I've been rooting for, man, he's been doing it. He's been the best Oriole so far, and it sucks that the waste that the other talent that's supposed to be up and coming has not been producing.
Right.
And yeah, man, it just sucks. Like, some of these games are just boring. Like, the Orioles aren't doing anything, and like the bats. It's one thing is like yeah, we know we don't need pitching, but the bats should be there. Like, we should be hitting. And I'm tired of seeing these other teams, man. Like, their guys, like, their big stars are producing. Like, even the team might not be good, the stars are doing good. Like, they're up there, but ours aren't. And I was like, the guys I was like, why is our guy isn't? Like, Gunnar Henderson's not, he still has not really catched on yet. And I mean, he did come back from injury, brief, like he had that brief little injury that happened, but he hasn't come back. He hasn't been there yet. But then you have Adley Rutschman, who's our star catcher, who has not, man, it just is not even the same, man, like he was like the half of last year and 2 years ago. Like, he used to be a guy that would work the count. Like, he used to be, his at-bats were like, even if he didn't get a hit, he will work you to a full count, man. Like, he'll go down 0-2 and still work you to a 3 full count, and like, he make you throw pitches. Like, you don't see that anymore from him. Seti did his thing. Like, whatever adjustment he made, because he had a bad he had, like, last year wasn't a great year overall for him. He did come along better near the end of the year, which I guess it carried over. And like, the adjustments, whatever adjustments he made, man, he's that guy. Like, he's a guy, he could get on base. Like, if he might not get a hit, he might get a walk or something, or like, he seems to find a way on base in games. And that's what you want that's what you want. And now they put him the leadoff now, which he hasn't been a leadoff in a while, in almost 2 years. So but it's sad because it's like, man, it. I mean, I'm happy he's lead all, but I'm like, darn, I wish other guys were doing something. Like when he's on base, they can come around. Like he's been the guy, like he's been getting us the runs. He's the reason why we even win some of these games. But yeah, that's it for the O's. The Dodgers are the Dodgers. They're all right. I mean, at first San Diego, as of yesterday, they were number one. I know they lost yesterday. Last night. I've been watching them because I always been. I mean, I've been a San Diego fan since Machado went there. So I've been following them since. Like they had like a bad year 2 years ago. But last year they came up, man. It sucked that they lost to the Dodgers. That they all they needed was one more game, but they couldn't get it. This year they starting off hot, man. Like they look like the team that I thought the Orioles could be. Something exciting, like the always in it. What the Orioles was, like the games were always they weren't really blowout unless the Orioles blew the team out. They weren't blowouts. Like the Orioles didn't get blown up. And so far they look that way. So far early on, the Mets have been looking good. I know they just swept the Phillies. The Giants were looking better than what people thought so far, but it's early. But yeah, the American League, the biggest teams really there. I think you got Cleveland's still good. Cleveland's been consistent for years though. I think it's only been like 1 or 2 years they missed the playoffs. Like in the last so many years, like I can't. I remember 1 year they missed the playoffs, but most of the time they make the playoffs or they win a division. Detroit is a surprise. Well, somewhat a surprise. People knew they had some players that were coming. That were coming up. They have some pitchers, and yeah, that pitching looks good. And Detroit's competitive. Yankees, yeah, the Yankees judge is a monster. I don't know why people even pitch to him. Like I would just walk up every time he come on the plate. I almost think like MLB says you got to pitch him, man. It's got to be exciting. I was like, why y'all walk him like y'all did on Barry Bonds? Because that's how I would do. I would walk his ass just like that. I was like, nope, you ain't getting a hit. Like, I don't care. The base is loaded. I said, well, I'll give up one run. I said, I'll give up that damn run. I'll be damned if you're going to possibly get a grand slam or, like, get, like, 3 men to come home. But the Yankees, yeah, like, it's no really world beaters right now. They don't look like who's a dominant team. It's like no dominant team in the American League right now. I'm not saying it's a dominant team really anywhere, but you can see the potential more in the National League top teams.
Yeah.
That you can in the American League right now. It's still up for grabs. So it's not like the Orioles are like, oh man, they're all done. But still, they could be coming down the end of the year if the Orioles even do get some type of fire that, oh, you're going to look back at the beginning of the year and say, darn, if we start out better, we probably would have made the playoffs or something like that. It might come down to a few games. So we'll see, man, because it sucks because, look, our pitching, I never thought our pitching was going to be great, even if everybody was healthy. Like, people aren't healthy. So if I didn't think our pitching would be great where we were healthy, it's something like we're not healthy. Like, we only got nothing. Though K. Povich did pitch a good game, one of our young pitchers against the Nats. People says, I hope that boosts things up. And that's the thing. People need to come through. So that's what my hope. My hope was that since we didn't get any pitchers, that the pitching that we have, somebody will come up to be better than what I thought they would be. Or like they would come to be the star. Like they're like, oh, they must have found their own. Now they're an ace. That's what I was hoping. Unfortunately, like our best pitchers are hurt right now, so we're waiting for people to come back. And yeah, it sucks. And yeah, I don't know what you can do because I'm like thinking like, who are we going to trade and who's going to want to give up a pitcher? Like who's out there that could even get a pitcher for somebody? So we'll see. So yeah, that's it for sports. So WrestleMania happened. So what happened at WrestleMania?
So kind of a lot of the expected stuff happened. Jey Uso did beat Gunther in an all right match. It seemed to go on just a little too long, and the story that they were telling in the match the ending of it didn't really fit. It felt like, Generally, the first night was relatively flat. There were some highlights. Jade Cargill versus Naomi was good. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte was good. In the main event, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and CM Punk was good. That ended up with Paul Heyman turning on both CM Punk and Roman Reigns and joining Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins actually got a big win in a main event of WrestleMania. So that was pretty cool to see. Night 2 opened up with absolutely the best match of the two nights. Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky actually retained the title in that match, which was pretty surprising considering who she was up against. I can't say too much about that match outside of just watch it if you're a wrestling fan. That match was incredible. Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest, that was a street fight. That was enjoyable too. Not the best match on the card, but it was better than a lot of what we saw on night 1. The 4-way for the IC championship, Dominic Mysterio, Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, and Penta. That was pretty fun. That ended up with Dominic Mysterio winning the Intercontinental Championship. So that sleazeball's a champion now, Dominic. And,
sleazeball. He's a heel. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's basically like heel Eddie Guerrero right now. He's partnered up with Liv Morgan now instead of Rhea Ripley, and they're kind of doing their heel thing together. Randy Orton beat the TNA World Champion Joe Hendry in 3 minutes. Randy Orton was, of course, supposed to fight Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is unfortunately injured and is going to require surgery. So he was doing an open challenge, and Joe Hendry, who is kind of a viral star because he's been putting out like songs against his opponents. So he's kind of blown up like that. He's appeared on NXT a couple of times now. And it's kind of weird having the TNA champion lose in 3 minutes. But that's kind of been the story of this partnership between TNA and WWE. It's never really been TNA guys going over the WWE guys, especially when we're talking like main roster guys. Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. I don't know how that went. I didn't watch that match. Lyra Valkyrie.
Oh, wait, you really just like boycotting Logan Paul?
It's not that I was boycotting it. It was so night 2 was on Easter, so we had family obligations.
Oh, you didn't go back to watch it?
We went back to watch it on Monday, but because it was after work and after dinner.
You had the family watching it?
Yeah, my daughter likes watching wrestling now almost more than I do. So, it just as a means to skip time or save time, I skipped over the match because I wasn't really too interested in it. So Lyra Valkyrie and Becky and Bayley were supposed to be a tag team versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. I had mentioned that I think last week and how that was kind of thrown together. Unfortunately, Bayley got kind of screwed over here because they did an injury angle. So Bayley wasn't on WrestleMania at all, and instead they replaced her with Becky Lynch, which makes somewhat sense. Lyra is also from Ireland. Becky has seemingly been signed back to WWE for a while now, so they were saving her re-debut for this moment. And they won the tag team titles from Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. They immediately then lost them to the same people on Raw, and then Becky turned heel on Lyra. So we got heel Becky, we got heel Seth, so that whole family is a bunch of dirty scoundrels now, Dominic. And then we had the main event of the second night, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. John Cena won with the help of Travis Scott. No Rock to be found. Apparently, he's come out since. He did an interview with somebody, I can't remember. and basically said like I decided that I needed to not be involved in this. And they basically said they brought him. He basically said they brought him in to pop ticket sales for Elimination Chamber, but he really thought he didn't need to be involved anymore. There's a lot of speculation around that, basically saying that The Rock the creative didn't go the way The Rock wanted it to, so he it kind of dipped out and decided to take his ball and go home for now until they can.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, again, that's speculation, but it kind of seems in line with what everybody's saying, because it sounds like Cody or The Rock wanted to like plant the seeds of Cody turning heel, which implies to me that even if he didn't in this year's Mania, that somewhere down the line The Rock wants him to turn heel, and then The Rock wants to face him as a face, so that he can get the crowd to cheer him. And apparently Triple H suggested John Cena turning heel. This match was not good, Dominic. This was 20 minutes of the slowest, most boring wrestling, and then just like 5 minutes of Travis Scott
but
coming
they're
out.
Two good wrestlers. Why was it bad?
So Cody's a good wrestler, but he's never been incredible in the ring. John Cena is definitely kind of showing his age quite a bit, but I don't think it's necessarily. I think it's the story that they're trying to tell. I think they're trying to do the heel John Cena thing by making him kind of uninteresting in the ring, and as such they have succeeded because it was an enjoyable match to have. And I hope that this isn't their plan like long term for the matches that he's going to have. Now, I don't know how many matches he's going to actually have, because his promo on Raw was basically, I've got like 30 dates or something left to this year, or I think down to 27 or something like that. He's got a certain number of dates that he needs to do this year before his contract is up. And that doesn't mean that he has to wrestle. It just means that he has to show up. He will be facing Randy Orton at Backlash. Those guys, despite being like forever rivals, have very rarely had particularly interesting matches in the past. So I don't necessarily expect that one to be a barn burner either.
Wait a minute. So did Cody Rhodes retain the belt?
Oh, sorry. No, John Cena won the title, and he is now the champion. Yeah, he pretty thoroughly beat down Cody Rhodes, which is just... that's one of my problems with this match, is just kind of how non-competitive Cody Rhodes seemed in it. It wasn't really, it wasn't, they were equally matched, and then Travis Scott came down and interrupted things. It was pretty much John Cena had control over the entire match. And then Travis Scott came down, and then John Cena won. Obviously, through some shenanigans. I don't know how long Cody Rhodes is going to be away. I don't know if Cody Rhodes needs to be, or is the guy that they're going to have take this title off John Cena eventually. You would hope that they have some kind of plan for that. Instead of, the story that John Cena is telling is that he is going to take this title and he is going to go home. He is going to be the last real champion, the title that all of the people held before him, all of the greats, and he is going to take it home and keep it for the rest of his life. And they'll have to come up with a new title, just like they did with like the Universal title and all that nonsense. And that'll be a toy title, because he was so pissed that people were calling his spinner title a toy title. I like that story. Obviously, you have to have someone beat him right before that. Although I do really like the idea that we do get John Cena to turn face and kind of have a redemption arc before he goes away. But with his, as short a timeline as it is, I don't know how well that story can be told, except especially for a guy like Triple H, who has exhibited very long storytelling as of late, to maybe the detriment. Like it's not awful. It's obviously an improvement over what Vince has been doing. But he draws things out maybe a little longer than they need to. And it would maybe be nice to have him get like an editor, basically, if we're calling him a director of sorts, he really needs an editor to find the points of these storylines and maybe consolidate them a little bit. Yeah, overall, this year's WrestleMania, it had its highs, it has had its lows. Most of it was probably just kind of mid. But there were some shining moments. And Raw after WrestleMania was actually really good. You had the reemergence of Rusev. He came back from AEW. He was Miro there for a couple of years. But he was doing some really interesting stuff, and then he would just disappear from TV, and everybody's speculation was basically he wasn't willing to take a pin and wasn't willing to lose, so he didn't show up on TV that much. Now, obviously, again, that's somewhat speculation, maybe things that somebody heard from somebody else backstage, so we don't really know. So we'll see what he actually does here, but it's nice to see him actually on TV. And likewise, on SmackDown, we just saw Aleister Black return, who was Malachi Black in AEW, formerly Aleister Black in WWE. He's another guy that we saw a lot of potential when he was in WWE, but while Vince was there, it seemed like he didn't. So we really saw kind of a fall down the card. And not having him on TV or not having him do anything interesting. And then we were very excited to see him in AEW. For a guy like Aleister Black, they had him show up and basically destroy Cody when he was there as kind of his debut. And then just that immediately kind of fell apart. And he's mostly just been doing tag or trio wrestling ever since then. And there have also been rumors that he either was injured and he would say he wasn't injured, but then other people would say he was injured and then he wanted to leave. And then there was more stuff about how he wasn't willing to take pins necessarily. And it's been kind of a mess for both of those guys. So hopefully, Triple H can maybe do right by them. Triple H made Aleister a champion when he was in NXT. So hopefully he sees the value in a guy like that, and Aleister doesn't have problems with injuries or something like that. We also saw some NXT people on Raw. We saw Stephanie Vacour, who is the NXT Women's Champion. She retained at the NXT pay-per-view, challenge Io Sky, the Women's Champion, on Raw, and that was a pretty awesome match. Of course, they had some of the NXT women come in and attack them both to kind of fluke the ending of that match, so neither of the champions had to lose. But Stephanie Vacour is an incredible wrestler, and to kind of have that moment on Raw was awesome. And it seems like hopefully we're going to get, kind of wheels turning here. It always seems like WrestleMania should be like the culmination of the year's wrestling. You tie things up and then you move on to like the new cool stuff. And that's never really the case. There's always kind of this like tail to it because you get backlash shortly after usually. And a lot of times you'll get like a lot of rematches. So far, it doesn't necessarily seem like that's what's going to happen here, and hopefully that proves to be true. Let's see, nothing else wrestling wise. Don't really have much to say about AEW this week. I haven't seen it because I was catching up on WrestleMania stuff, basically. So that's it.
All right, man. All right, so overall, it was a good show, you thought?
It was okay.
It's okay. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so I guess what we've been watching. So I've been I watched Andor. Andor premiered this week with 3 episodes. I watched them, and overall, I thought it was great. I thought they were pretty. It was definitely. Definitely enjoyed the episodes. It's just like look at the show. It's so weird that it's just Star Wars. Like man, like it gets even dark. Like it was a one scene, a little spoilery that like one of the wasn't a stormtrooper, but one of the officers was looked like he was about to attempt to rape a woman, and
Oh,
I mean,
gee.
she even said it. Like at first, I was just thinking like Star Wars don't really have attempt rape. Maybe he just beat her up, but then she even like when another officer came and saw that she had killed the man, he said she was like, "Oh, said come out with your hands up." She was like, he tried to rape me," and I was like, "Oh my
Oh my!
god, that's probably the
Wow.
first time I ever heard that was ever said in Star Wars, like something about rape." I was like, Jesus Christ! I was like, this is like
Yeah, George Lucas
totally,
ain't putting that in the script, Dominic.
yeah. I was like, this is like, yeah, this is like totally like man, like the dark side of what the rebellion was, which you would think would happen realistically, but you know, in Star Wars, it's just a fantasy, really. So it's like a more of a kids kind of fantasy. So it's like just bad people be bad, but like nothing dark. You know,
Right.
the most dark is just death. You know, I mean, um, but they even show the dark side of what the rebellion can be too, because of like it looks like. I mean, you're assuming that this one person might get killed because they're afraid they're going to talk, but you don't know. But it's like, oh, I we got to get rid of him because he's a liability. And it's
Yeah.
like, man, yeah, it's really good, but it's like this is not a kids. Yeah, this ain't your kids Star Wars. Like this is, I mean, it's not a whole lot of action. Though there was a good amount of stuff like shooting, and I mean like in space um fight. Well, wasn't a space fight, but it was like one ship and he was shooting. But yeah, it was in the episode two where there was two factions of the rebellion, and like because like you don't know each other, so you don't know if they're the enemy or something because like somebody was beating somebody somewhere, but then it got confused with another faction doing something, so they didn't know each other, and then they ended up infighting. It was like infighting happening,
Mhm.
and it oh man, that was a good episode. Like, well, actually, probably multiple episodes that went through, but yeah, man. I mean, yeah, this show is like it's really well done. It's cool to see Star Wars in another light of like, and yeah, because it's like, look, it's a big unit. It's a this Star Wars universe is so many things you can do with this. So it's the excuse me, you can mix it up, I guess, with just like, hey, you can have these darker type of shows that's more adult and still have these other kid stuff happening too. I mean stuff that for the whole family to watch.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so it's interesting how they do that. Uh, yeah, I think that's it. All I watched. I'm trying to think. Was there
Can
anything
I
else I
ask you real
watched?
quick about Andor? With them debuting 3 episodes at one time, do do you think do you think they needed to do that? Like, is episode 3 where like stuff really starts to happen, or is it just like, oh, we're doing you guys a favor? Here you
Oh, I honestly, I don't know. Maybe, but I felt like every episode had something
go.
to
Okay.
keep me interested. So it didn't feel like, oh no, they had to put this episode in.
Yeah, because we've seen that in the past where they drop like
Oh
two
yeah, we have
episodes, and
definitely.
it's like,
That's
okay,
what I was
now I
thinking
see
it would happen.
why.
Yeah, I thought that was the case when I saw three up there. I said, oh, must be like some not a lot going on. But maybe I think it was a way. But I think in a way it is kind of like that, but not like I don't think they did they have to probably not, but I think they do that now just for people to have enough that they will want more, so that they will stick with it, so they have enough show to say like, oh yes, like this I want to see more of this, like they get enough I guess information and or enough enjoyment. Like they'll guarantee some type of enjoyment if you give them 3 episodes or something like that.
Right.
It's like for they can want more. But yeah, I didn't ever feel like I didn't feel like any. There definitely wasn't wasted episode. I remember there was a wasted one from the last one. Um, but yeah, it's just like the different scenes they have, like because there's different storylines going on, and it's just like you would never see none of this stuff happen in the Star Wars. Like there's a scene where it's these officers who work in the Empire, and like they're a couple, and he's bringing his mother on. His mother's very controlling and stuff, and like you would never have no intimate scene like that in the Star Wars, like because they're having a dinner with his to finally show off his girlfriend slash wife. I don't know if they got married, but they're together, and them having this like conversation stuff, and he feeling all embarrassed and stuff, but almost like, but there's like you can tell like the mother, like she just so like controlling her son, like she's really trying to really see if this girl is worth his time or something, but the woman, like she's a very stern woman too herself. It was kind of cool seeing them interact with each other. But yeah, I was like, damn man, this is definitely not like your traditional Star Wars. So yeah, that's all I really watched. That's all I watched this week. So I guess we get to what we're playing. So what you been playing, man?
Yeah, so I've been playing.
So you want me to go or you go?
I mean, you've been talking a lot, so I can talk about Blueprints, and then you can talk about your stuff, and then we'll talk about the last one together.
All right.
Yeah, so I've been playing more Blueprints. Following the discussion that we had last week about it, I went back to the game and kind of immediately found some of those trappings from like the roguelites or whatever genre it is, classification of the genre it is, that I was looking for in this game. Basically like the persistent upgrades, things that would help me in my future days, journeys. So I've gotten pretty far. I mean, I've gotten up to the same level of the final room there. And basically, based on what I've heard, it sounds like there's more to it than just like once you get to that room. But that's always been my goal. And that's kind of why I had so much of an issue with kind of the RNG elements of it and not seeing a lot of those persistent upgrades initially. Because if my goal is to get to that room and me solving the little puzzles around that I've encountered so far is my goal, then like running out of steps because I didn't get good room placement or just not being given good rooms, getting a lot of dead ends or locked doors when I haven't been given a lot of keys, became kind of frustrating. But now that I'm starting to see that like, okay, I need to be more comfortable, just like with other roguelites, with not really achieving that goal every day and using it as more of okay, this is the direction that I'm going to head, but I may want to find this style room so that I can encounter this puzzle or try and solve this puzzle to then get one of those more persistent upgrades or to gain the knowledge that will then help me get further and further every time. And finally seeing kind of that crest is making me more confident that this is the game that I would like it to be, where I will see stuff like that and then be able to enjoy those puzzles for what they are instead of just seeing them as kind of obstacles to getting to that final room. Now, I've definitely heard that some of these puzzles are just like intense. I've heard periodic tables mentioned, and I've now gotten to a room where there's a periodic table, which I haven't really seen. I think it was basically one of the last few rooms I got before I ran out of steps.
I got that room too.
Yeah.
And that's what. Yeah, I'm like, well, that's just something where I'm gonna have to look at I wanted to look at some strategy guide or something because ain't no way hell I'm gonna be trying to remember this shit.
Yeah, I've got a piece of paper sitting right here with some of the simpler things that I've dealt with so far written down to just try and keep some notes on, but I have not gotten into like full pages of notebooks or anything like that. And I'm not necessarily looking for that either. If it's something that even with like the basic kind of knowledge that I've gotten from people talking about it, you know, even with like the billiards room, like just knowing that I had to interact with like the darts, it gave me an indication of like, oh, okay, I need to do something here. So like having some idea that, okay, this is going to be related to something else. I don't necessarily see it as a spoiler. It just gives me kind of a hint in the right direction. Whereas, you know, like I've got no shame in having to look a puzzle up if it comes down to that, you know. I've had to do that in recent years, including like when I was playing, I had the name in my head and now I can't remember it. The little bug guy. I want to say the game starts with the C, and I don't even know why I can't think of it.
The little bug guy.
Yeah, you're the little bug guy with the ball world, and then you would jump into the world. And it is frustrating me to no end that I can't think of it. So anyway, I've got no issue looking this stuff up at this point in my life. I'm not going to sit here and bang my head against something for hours on end if I'm not finding.
Was it called Tiny Tin or something?
No,
Tinykin?
Not Tinykin. That one's similarly small bug guy. But no, it's not that one. Anyway. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with Blueprints. I was actually kind of struggling to make the decision this week about whether I was going to play more of that or the other game that we're going to talk about. And I ended up playing a little bit of that one just to get some experience with a new game. Cause I figure even if I have, you know, something to talk about with Blueprints, it's not going to fill out, you know, a full conversation necessarily. If I'm a little further than where I was before, the conversation would basically be the same. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Blueprints going into the direction that it's going into. So what have you been playing, Dominic?
All right, so I've been playing some more of Unicorn Overlord, and that game is fantastic. Like that is a fun strategy RPG. I love, and it's huge. And just like getting new characters and like going through battles and like you get these other and I'm still like getting new type of soldiers, like even now, like after doing all this side quests and stuff. And it's cool, this type of strategy you can have to go against enemies, like, you know, their weaknesses and things of that nature, and like set up your own group in a way to beat them, or like setting up a way where, like, some groups I have where they just dominate most groups. Like some maybe something that comes along that's like, oh, they're a little bit tougher, but it's like you can sometimes build a group. It's like, oh man, this is like real powerful, but you might have to just have another group for behind them just in case like they go against their weaknesses. But just the combination, like a traditional like RPG element, like strategy elements, and mixed with the strategy elements is it makes it feel somewhat fresh for me. Fresh, it feels different than Fire Emblem or the one Advance Wars or something. It's like it feels a little different because about like you doing these other things like outside of the battles, like you're doing these things like in towns. You're trying to help build up towns. that have been like ravaged through war, and so you're trying like you had to collect things to help build them up, and then you got those other elements that are in like Fire Emblem, where you can build up rapport with your soldiers. You have these like little cutscene stuff that happens if you build them up
Mm.
um, amount and a certain amount, and um, also, yeah, it's a well done game. I mean, the look of the game, the art style, it's fully voiced. I mean, it's not fully. I won't say fully voice acted. It's mostly voice acted. I mean, some parts you have to read text,
Yeah.
but yeah, like doing this the real story scenes, you really did voice acted, and yeah, man. I mean, it gets addictive. Like it gets really addictive sometimes. Like doing playing that game. Like sometimes I've been spending hours just trying to build up like forming the formations of an army. I'm trying to try out and things of that nature. But yeah, I mean, this game was definitely. I can see why some people really had it high on their lists, like
Yeah.
when the games were last year. Um, Also, I have been. Oh yeah, I've been playing some more. Last they mean that's when I mean the Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak, the first one, because since I have
Mm.
lost my saves, I've been kind of running through that game. So I finally got to the point where I was at. So I'm near the end of the game. So I finally just fast forward through that. Yeah, it could go by pretty fast when you're just hitting skip all cutscenes. And then like conversations. Man, that's like wow, a lot of game was conversations. Because I like skipping through those things, I realized like wow, that's where I've been like spending my hours is like going. Yeah, most of my hours are spent going through town and talking to people. And now that I don't really do that this time, I was like wow, that's a lot of hours that I save. Like so I can carry to get to the end. So it doesn't take and it didn't take as long to do that. So I was like, good. So now finally at the part I was at where it was like the ending festival, which I know something else is about to happen because the way things are kind of built, and especially on things like some achievement stuff I see. I was like, hey, I wasn't able to do this before, so I know there's still more game left. This is not the end actually. So I know it's like after each festival, something bad's gonna happen. So I'm just waiting to see what happens. But yeah, I'm just at that part right now. So at least I got there, so I can actually play something new in that game. I can move on to the next one that's out because then it's the third one that's coming out too, and I think it's out in Japan right now, and maybe I'm not sure when this comes out here. But yeah, I saw that online on one of those sites that really follows the game. But what else did I play? I played some more South of Midnight. I fought that alligator that you saw in the preview
Mhm.
of the game during that direct, and that was a good fight. I mean, I like it, and that whole story about how the alligator got to what it is be. It's interesting. I like how they go through the stories of like the past. Well, actually, well, they're current people, but their past. Like you see something dark happen in their past, and why this freaking phenomenon has formed or whatever. And
Mm.
yeah, so I finished that one. So now I'm still looking for my mother. I still didn't find her. So yeah, I'm still. I guess I don't know, midway. I have no idea. I haven't really looked to see what where I'm at in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm having fun with. I mean, I did a lot. Um, a few more abilities. I mean, it doesn't really change much for me as far as the battle system. I still
No.
think it's
Okay.
iffy. But the story, like I said, the story is still good. So that's what keeps me going with the game.
With the boss battle, is it like a unique kind of it's not just like hitting the guy, I assume. So are they
Yeah, yeah, it's
doing
definitely more
that kind of
unique.
stuff at
Yeah,
least? Okay.
yeah, that's definitely different than what you do with those regular spirit things, wherever they are.
Good. At least
Yeah,
they got that
it's
variety there.
yeah, because that was like really the first. I'm trying to think what boss I fought before him because you didn't fight that tree thing. So this is like maybe the first big boss I really fought. Um, or like what I feel like is a true boss anyway. All right, so what else have I played? Because I don't got my thing open here. All right, so oh yeah, Fatal Fury came out.
Yeah.
And I played that City. I think it's called City of Wolves.
Yep.
Yeah, I never really played a Fatal Fury game. I didn't really play SNK games, but I saw the look of this game. It looked pretty good, so I tried it out, and yeah, man. I mean, it felt good. I played through the what their version of a story mode is, and it's set up like you pick a character and they have text and stuff going with it. Now I don't know if it's like different text for different characters because I'm curious because it seems like in this one, I'm just a wanderer walking through the city, and then this girl needs help with something, and I'm kind of helping her out, but it isn't a funny way because it's like first I wasn't trying to help her. Like it's almost like you knew that she said like she was going to ask you to help, and you try to go get away from her. And but this is all through text. This is not like no animation, nothing. But it kind of says like, oh, you try to hurry along or something, and then the girl start yelling, say, hey, you supposed to help me, something like that. And then like so you get into these fights basically throughout, and then it's set up to a way like of course you got the main story stuff, and then you got all these other dots on the map where it tells you what level that fighting's going to be because you level up as you fight, and because your stats get more and like your health bar gets higher and stuff like that. So yeah, you get to choose you choose who you fight and things like that. You fight that level, and then you level up. You get experience, and so I played a bit of that. I recorded some of that. But yeah, and in the look of the game, it's pretty good. It kind of reminds me of Street Fighter, really.
Yeah.
That's the look and the feel of the game. It definitely has more of that feel to it, but and it's not. It might not be as deep, definitely as deep as Street Fighter Six. And I played Street Fighter Six before, and from what I've seen, but I kind of figured like because like I don't think it costs. I don't know if it's full price. I don't think it's a full price game. Um, yeah, I don't think it's for like $70 like Street Fighter. Or at least it probably shouldn't be. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess it all depends. I don't know how much you think these games are worth. But I mean, it seems like a full fledged fighting game though. I mean, as far as a fighting game, it seems like it's fine. I mean, I saw like there's a couple of reviews of the game, and it got rated all right. It got rated fine, like pretty well.
Yeah, I've heard, gameplay wise, it's pretty good. Visually, it's kind of a mixed bag. Like the characters look good, but the backgrounds are pretty generic. Like,
I haven't really paid attention to. Yeah, maybe
and that's
maybe
the
they
thing,
are.
right? Is that's why you do that.
Yeah.
How many people are really going to be spending a lot of time staring at the backgrounds?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I was just looking at the characters. They look good to me, and like to me, I like that art style they went with. Um, yeah, I'm trying to see the Metacritic. Metacritic got it at like 79, 81, 81. 79 on PS5, 81 on Xbox, and 81 on PC. So yeah, it's like it seems like it's a fine fighting game.
Yeah.
And let me see, what is the cost here in Steam?
60 on Steam.
It's 60, huh? I didn't think it was that high. Honestly, I'm surprised.
Maybe it should have
guess
been.
No, I mean, maybe it probably is. I mean, be honest with you. I mean, yeah, maybe not console wise like much as Street Fighter price, but Street Fighter probably just does a lot. I mean, it's also one of the biggest fighting games out there. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's cheap or nothing. No, I mean, because it does have. I mean, it has a story mode. It has a bunch of online stuff. So, I guess yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I think it's an alright fighting
They
game.
got to pay all that money back for having the logo in the middle of the ring at WrestleMania, Dominic.
That's where I saw it. That's how I knew about this game. It's because of WrestleMania. Because when I saw the little bit of WrestleMania, I was wondering like, is that what is Fatal Fury? Is that like their next event or
That's their
something?
next pay per view.
I ain't know what. Yeah, I was like,
That
why is
might
it
be
called
their
Fatal?
next Saudi pay per view because they also open night one with the DJ that is a character in this fighting game. That is apparently it's kind of controversial because this DJ and also Ronaldo, the soccer player, is in this game, and people are saying that the only reason that's the case is because that's the Saudi crown prince's favorite DJ, and Ronaldo is on their soccer team, and this is funded. It's published by the Saudi ownership situation.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's
Oh,
been a little bit of controversy around that.
oh, no, okay, yeah, all right. But yeah, so yeah, that's really yeah. They were advertising WrestleMania, so yeah, they gotta call $60 then.
Yeah.
Spending all that money on advertisement. Um, so yeah, I played that. What else have I played? Yes, I played the new game that came out this week. Claire Obscure's Expedition 33. I know what Expedition 33 means as far as the game, but I do not know what Claire Obscure is. I do not know. I have any idea what that is.
It's just letting you know that it's French, Dominic.
Okay. But
They're like,
yes,
how do we tell people this is French without just saying Frenchy McFrench game?
So this is a RPG that's inspired by JRPGs. Well, for me, I bought the more modern JRPGs. I should say. But definitely is better because their stories are better. Because there is no, I don't know any modern. It's not that many modern JRPGs that I like the story to, honestly. Mostly Final Fantasy, the latest Final Fantasies. But Claire, like your Expedition 33 is these group of soldiers, basically. Well, yeah, so I guess you call them soldiers. Like we don't really know what this world is. Like you go in not really knowing what's going on, and they don't really tell you. You kind of figure out as it goes on. I guess as the game goes on, you realize what happened. So what I gather as of right now is that something happened to this world. Some kind of being has come, and within like 100 years, well, I guess 76 years ago, I guess then, because it said like it's a countdown from 100 and to 0, I guess each year, and like that's how long people can live up to. Like your life can live up to that many years. If you get to that number, you'll disappear. Like I guess you'll die, but it's kind of like you just disappear though. Like your body goes away, like flutters into flowers and something like that. To petals. And I don't know why. Like why this being is doing this. I don't think they totally know why either. But they know that they go to the main continent. I guess they live on an island. And they say if they go, they try. So every year, the year before people die, they go to the main continent. Or you can go before. You don't have to wait till the year. But most people wait to 1 year before they die because it's like, hey, I'm going to die anyway. So I'm going to be a soldier and go to the main continent to try to kill this woman to stop us from dying. So it's been like I guess 76 years since then because now we're on 33. Like you're at the end of the 34s really, and like when somebody who you used to date, like one of the main characters, like y'all broken up, but she's about to go, and they do the celebration where everybody gathers, and they gather at the harbor. So they can see their loved ones, say goodbye to their loved ones or whatever. And this is very like this is very sad. Like that's what somebody says. Like full of
I've heard people
melancholy.
say it's very adult themes, and yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, it's like and like so you see that, and then like there's children are either if the family didn't have somebody to guardian for them, that I think they get orphanages, and but there's some people they have like guardians say, hey, I gotta watch this kid or whatever. So so basically after that it's like everybody, the oldest people are 33 years old, on there. So it's like it's a countdown. Like it's no one can yeah, so yeah, it's like you can't live past those ages. Like, and for whatever reason that this is happening, but that's when they have like after that happens. I think I don't know how many days or hours. I'm not sure. They have an expedition where they sent people. I think they must have made a law saying like, hey, well, it's not really a law. You don't have to do this. Like the expedition, everybody has to join the expedition. But people who choose to go, I guess people usually are within a year. I'm curious, but like you have a sister she has like almost, she said, I think she said 9 years till she has to leave, but she wants to go now. Now to do it. And I think in the past, there had to be people who had to go younger because it's like, what you had people who were like in the 80s going over there or something like that.
Yeah. We learned a lot of lessons early on, Dominic.
Yeah, so I was thinking like, man, people probably in the 30s were going over there or 20s, they were going over there early. But I think that's what it was though. I don't think it was just like, I think they probably started at a certain age, certain time as the time was going down and realized like, yo, we're getting close to the end here.
Yeah.
And there's some people who just giving up. They're saying like it's not worth going over there. And some people like because there's a person who didn't want you to go. Your older sister didn't want you to go. Saying like you could do so much good. Yeah, I was thinking.
How's she not
like,
dead yet?
Well, I'm sorry. I said older sister. I mean younger sister. I guess younger sister. It just feels like she's older. The way she was talking to you and everything.
Gotcha.
But I guess she said like. So you don't have to do like she almost feel like it's a waste because it's like everybody else dies. It's like I gotta try and then after this like oh my god you're left like what the hell can I do here? It's right. But they have like getting ready for the end basically. It's like and I was like I mean I don't know. I guess this is a way of looking at like hey look we might as well get ready for the end of us and like but I guess. There's some dignity to that. I don't know, but to me, I feel like, man, I'm going and fighting. Like, I know I'm about to die. I'm going to go ahead and try to kill that thing. I probably got no chance in hell doing it, but what the fuck? That's like, I'm about to die anyway. Even though it might be a painful death, I go over there instead of just going in as flowers, but whatever. At least I said I tried. I said, hey, I tried. I'll live with that in my afterlife.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so it's and then it starts off. I mean, if you watch the this is a little spoilery, but actually it was in the if you look at the gameplay of it, like they had a playthrough of this game weeks ago. Like you saw when you first get on the island, a lot of them died, and then you saw somebody who was old, and you was wondering like how did they survive, and that guy just killed like your leader, and then everybody just start dying and stuff like that. So it's like, man, now I'm at the point where the game where I did meet one of the other expeditioners, and we're trying to find my sister. So yeah, and she's trying to convince me to keep going the expedition. Like I'm like, hey, I'm gonna find her and we're gonna leave. He said, what do you mean leave? It's like we got a mission. And I was like, oh no, like, and then yeah,
awkward.
But actually, like, see, so even though the guy, he's like the main character, you know, you got these other characters that you can control too. And the battle system is just like how it is in JRPGs, like turn-based, but also the new kind of style of like you pressing the action button, you know, when you like to get better criticals or to block or dodge, which I'm still like trying to get used to the dodge and parry. Like I'm still trying to get the timing right because enemies, they are different, and I still haven't got it perfect. Like I died quite a few times.
Is that like a risk reward thing where you have the option to block or dodge, or sorry, parry or dodge? So like parry, obviously,
you got
would do like
option for that, attack. But yeah, you got an option to either do both, and I think there's another one maybe.
Okay.
That happens later on in the game, but I haven't gotten to. But yeah, so far it's just parry and dodge. But yeah, if you don't, you're gonna get hit.
Right.
Like it's going to happen. So you're gonna have to at least attempt. And like if you do like a perfect dodge, like that kind of can help you out. Maybe get for eight action points AP or something like that. And I think it all depends what you equip to, what a perfect would do. And I know a parry it lets you counter if you do a few parries because I think I only did if it I don't know. It all depends on the enemy, I guess. Because like I did like a perfect parry, immediately hit them back, but sometimes I don't. Like I because sometimes they do like they do multiple moves, so you got to parry them all. And yeah, man, it's the battle system was great. I mean, so far I enjoy it. I enjoy the battle system. I like what it's doing. And it's yeah. I mean, kind of reminds me. Me it's not the same as their Persona, but at least I said like it's just, it's fun. Like it's fun. Like I don't mind getting into battles, and like the enemies you can see them. Like there's not random battles. You see the enemies, you can like hit them first to get like the first strike, against them. Also, there is an overworld because I just got to it because I thought it was just like hey you just go through. I didn't know it was an overworld. And they so it's like that's where there's a map because traditionally it's not a map. There is no map in the game as you're playing. If you get to overworld, it's a map. Like you can see the map of the overworld. But and when you go to certain sections, there isn't a map. So you like because I'm just so I don't know if I search like I'm moving all different places because there's stuff to pick up sometimes and you can sometimes get like, oh man, where I'm supposed to go at, and like I kind of just have to look around. But I mean, I haven't got lost or anything, but I think I turned back around like once. But yeah, I can see. Like, I think the reason why they said that because they want you to feel like you're exploring and like, hey, this is like you're the first time you've been here. You never nobody because no people usually only people that came back was from the first trip. That some people came back so they can tell them about it and they told them about it. So you don't know everything about that world. So I guess they want you to feel that way, even though technically in a lot of the games, you've never been to these places that you've been to, but they still have a map. So yeah, see, like the only problem I have with that, like I understand it and I don't really mind it much. Just that when I'm trying to figure out like if I collected everything, and I'm not saying you have to show me a chest, but I just want to know like, hey, I went there already.
Right.
Like I can like it.
Give me a Fog of War map that clears up as I've been around.
I mean, yeah, or something. Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's what it traditionally is. I mean, that's what like in most those type of RPGs are. That well, I wouldn't say most, but a lot of them are like that. Where it forms as you move, but yeah, they don't have that in this one. And I was like, I'll say, okay. I mean, but yeah, I would prefer it, but it's not a deal breaker. But yeah, so far, game is fine. It runs fine on this PC. It doesn't look the best because I mean I've seen the videos and I was like, but it does. I can put it on ultra. It just won't be 60 frames per second.
Right.
But it and so far it's good. I mean, like I'm really curious like where this story goes with this game. Like it's pretty deep and it's pretty of a downer. It's pretty of a downer of a game. It's definitely yeah, maybe like your JRPGs, but it's not as happy as those games either. Yeah. And no big boobies so far. Like JRPGs.
It's darn French.
Yeah.
They don't know what we want.
So yeah, so that's what I played. So yes, and the last but not least, the Shadow Drop game that came out this week, Oblivion.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls 4 came out. It Shadow dropped 2 days before this game, which is odd. I found odd is because Xbox, they basically were like behind this game. They had it on their direct. They talked about the game last year. That is going to be coming to this. Hell, I thought it was their game.
They're basically promoting like it was a first party title.
Yeah. So later on, when I saw like it was coming date on PS5, I was like, oh, this is going to be the first Xbox exclusive game that's come day and date on the Xbox like published game that come day and date on the PS5. But then I saw like, oh no, they didn't publish this game. I said, oh, I didn't know that. And then I know you kept going all these weeks talking about, oh, people talking about Oblivion 4 remastered is being worked on. Is going to
never believed me.
Come out this year. Well, I even though I was believe you, I didn't believe it's going to be. It was going to come out. It was going to just drop it. I didn't believe that. I was like, man, or it wasn't coming out soon. I was thinking like it's going to come out
no less the same week as this game.
Yeah, and then it came out this. I was like, wait a minute, why would they drop it this week? This is crazy. It's like, how can they just drop this game after they promoted this game? This other game.
Yeah, but, it's not like they even have a tie-in. It's not like there's a Oblivion TV show on or something right now. There's not even a Fallout TV show on right now. So
yeah,
you
so
probably could have saved this for like your summer event, like your E3 style thing, where it seems like you're going to have, you've had all your big titles release in the spring. And then you drop this as kind of the holdover until, the fall when you have more big titles. But yeah, they just dropped it on us, Dominic.
Yeah, so Oblivion, the remaster was dropped, even though it's more. It feels like more than a remaster.
That's what a lot of people were saying, and yeah, I mean, even just fidelity wise, it definitely seems that way.
Yeah, this is exactly, and it's like, wow, they really undersold this by saying remaster. It's like y'all did a lot more like than y'all did with like how Skyrim, I guess. Well, because I would think Skyrim, the one with like 4K and updates, that's a remaster or something like that. That's a remaster, even though I don't think they call it remaster. Put it on
the next gen consoles, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but this is like, this is more of a remake. It's like, darn, and it looks. I mean, it looks good. And I mean, it's Oblivion 4. I don't like that you still level up the traditional Oblivion way of me having to hop around and I get my stats up.
I've still been hopping around, Dominic. It's worked.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. As I say, I don't like it. That's why there are trainers now anyway, so I don't have to deal with that. But I just played through the first part of going through the dungeon and leaving. Well, actually, I didn't leave yet. I went to the sewer part and I just stopped.
I was going to say, I didn't think you did because I got the achievement surprisingly for exiting. And I was like, oh, you didn't make it this far? Oh,
well, because I have other games that are playing. Like, that wasn't the plan, was to play that game.
I just mean, I was surprised that you had played it. It said, like, for a little bit. And I was like, oh, he didn't get this achievement yet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just really wanted to try. I wanted to get like a good maybe 30 minutes to an hour of gameplay, and then I was good just to have something recorded. But so yeah, so I was just trying this game because I'm like, look, my plan was like I was gonna play Clair Obscur. I'm also playing the Unicorn Overlord, and I wanted to finish that Trails game. It's like this wasn't in the cards for right now. So, I mean, if I get to it, I get to it. But nah, I'm not gonna like try to
drop everything.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, not for this. Like I said, they had time to put it out, and hey, it's gonna be there because it's on Game Pass. So, whenever I get to it, I'll get to it. But I mean, for what I played, I did like what I saw. I mean, I like what the look of the game that looks really different because I haven't played a game in so long, Oblivion 4, but I know it didn't look this good. So I was like, yeah, this is impressive. I say, oh, that's pretty good. And then when I saw some people talking about it, I say, okay, so it turns out all right. Then, of course, I saw some people just say, like, hey, Oblivion, the other games are a mess and something like that. Said they weren't that good because they were comparing it to Clair Obscur. There's someone like, well, I'm going to play this mess when Clair Obscur comes out and stuff like that. So, okay, yeah. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. Everybody is. I mean, but apparently a lot of people still like those games. So whatever. But it also tells me that how much Starfield, even though I really enjoy Starfield. I mean, said it before. It's like not much has changed from that to like what Oblivion is. Is like, yeah, I mean, I guess people who want to evolve, yeah, it hasn't really evolved a lot since those games, and yeah, I mean that's a negative for a lot of people, and I mean I can definitely see that. Even though I'm okay with it, I mean I wouldn't mind it them evolving more. I do want them to do something to change it up, but and thing is, I don't know what. I mean that's them. That's their job to be creative.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like looking. It's like darn, yeah, they really haven't changed much with that. Like their formula there. That yeah, maybe I'll see what they'll do with Elder Scrolls 6. They do with that game. Um, it's more like they changed the scope. I guess it just made the scope bigger. Really,
Yeah,
and
that's
little
basically
added
it.
stuff. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't mind like one day going back to Oblivion since I haven't played it so long, and definitely a little more, a little more modernized, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool that they dropped that. So what you think of it? What you played?
I mean, I think it looks incredible. I mean, just seeing that reveal trailer and seeing the difference between the Khajiit, it's like, here's this weird, like, cat-like thing to here's this proud lion person. But yeah, the gameplay still seems like it's just kind of the same stuff, which I'm not against. It was nice going back to this is somewhat familiar. I don't think I even beat the game back on the 360. If I did, it's been way too long and I don't remember what happens. I remember going into some portals and fighting some Dark Knight guys, but that's about the extent of my memories of Oblivion. So I'm definitely getting something out of like coming out of the sewers and like looking around the world and be like, oh man. But I didn't even spend like that much time with Skyrim, so I don't know necessarily that I'm going to get sucked into this world, especially because like you said, I think listening to you, I kind of reevaluated things. Like obviously I wanted to play a little bit for the podcast, but yeah, I think I would rather, spend the time right now at least playing something like Blueprint, something new, and even giving, Clair Obscur a try and going back to South of Midnight. That's a game I really want to, it doesn't seem like it's that long. It feels like I could get through that game and experience that story, which is seemingly pretty darn interesting. And same with Clair Obscur, especially because it is, it's kind of got that traditional JRPG stuff, but it does have the more active time stuff, which I have come to like a lot in the RPGs without them just turning fully into an action game. And you telling me about the story of that sounds, very interesting as well. And that's a game that will eventually leave Game Pass, right? Like that's a game that, I'll blink
Yeah,
and next
exactly.
thing I know, it's like, you have 2 days left to play this. And I'm like, oh, well, I never got a chance to try it, so I guess I'm never going to do that. So yeah, making those priorities over this kind of like vague nostalgia trip for me is maybe what I need to do there. But I did enjoy my time with that. With that being said, I did enjoy my time with this. Maybe even, I don't know, maybe even a little more than what I played of Avowed, just at the beginning. I don't know. I don't know what would make me feel that way necessarily. It felt like Avowed had maybe a little bit slower of a start, in
I think that's what it is.
yeah.
I think that's
and
what it
this
is.
I'm right into killing
Yeah.
some rats and picking up way too much stuff. Whereas Avowed, I was kind of working my way up to the combat before I got to the combat. So that was kind of the hurdle there, I guess, when I look back and kind of compare the two. But yeah, I mean, this is an incredible improvement over the original, based on the footage they've shown and seeing that everybody's pretty happy with this. It just, we've talked about it in the past, but I think Fallout 3 was really the first one where I got invested and stuck around for the Bethesda journey. And obviously people are now calling for, remasters of that and Vegas and stuff like that. And it's like,
Man, see, I kind of wish they would have remade Morrowind before Oblivion.
Yeah.
I never played it before.
right. Yeah. And there's definitely some validity to that where it's like, yeah, maybe take this power and go, back a little more before, because Oblivion really was for like more modern gamers, of like our age. It feels like the first one that got the mainstream appeal. And then obviously Skyrim just, took that and ran with it. But Oblivion was the first one that I think benefited from having, the kind of like Xbox partnership for the 360 and being one of the first kind of like tentpole games for the 360 in this genre. It really, got a lot of eyes on it. So yeah, I'm glad to see it finally release after, literal months of talking about it, being rumored, but it's cool to see it finally out now.
All right, so we'll take a quick break. When we get back, get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. So now we're flashbacking to 2015. I'm going through the rest of the year. I'll say rest of the year. The rest of the month. Because then by next podcast, we'll just be doing covers or maybe a few games. It all depends how many there are. But let me pull this up here because I don't got the thing open. So we're starting in 2015. We're Flash. And what they have first is Crypt of the Necrodancer. Came out 10 years ago.
Yeah.
This was the roguelike rhythm game. And where you have to move to the beat.
Mm-hmm.
And I never played it. I only played a little bit of the Zelda Necrodancer game.
Yeah.
But have you played this one?
Yeah, I like the idea of it more than I think I ended up liking the execution of it. It's a really cool concept, and for people that maybe have better rhythm than myself, it might be a lot of fun. But I think at least in the Zelda one, they let you turn off like the rhythm stuff, but at that point it's like, what is this game even do? It's not, I don't know that it's necessarily interesting without I don't want to call it a gimmick because that feels kind of detrimental, but like without that core aspect of the gameplay, I should say. So I didn't spend too much time with it, but I thought it was a really cool game.
Okay. You highlighted it here, man. I thought you had something more to say on it, but okay.
It reviewed well.
Oh, it did? I kind of figured it did, but like how well? How well we talking?
High mid 80s.
Okay, all right. I'll give it that. I just don't want to waste my time, Daniel. All right,
Okay.
All right, so Kerbal Space Program also came out 10 years ago. This is the basically a simulation strategy game where you play as these funny looking alien dudes they build a space program like Elon Musk, and then you go fly into space and things of that nature. I really don't know much about this game, honestly.
Yeah, so
I just know that I see it a lot.
It was kind of physicsy based, and it was very much about taking all the pieces of the rocket and putting them in the right places and setting up the correct trajectory to get to whatever your goal was. I think it was more of a playground thing than like a mission objective based thing. So it would be like, okay, well, in this run, I want to try. Well, it's not really a run necessarily, but my goal with this rocket is to get to the moon, or my goal is to get to Mars or whatever. I think this succeeded in a lot of ways because of how cool of a streaming kind of thing it would be, right? Like you get to sit there with your chat and like, oh, chat, should I put this right here? And then, your freaking rocket goes sideways and blasting off into the ocean or whatever. There's a lot of really cool concepts here. It's unfortunate that, Kerbal Space Program 2 didn't really get to expand on those, or didn't expand on those. Because it really feels like, couple that, it has like the Minecraft, the Roblox kind of freedom to it, and then, maybe add some like missions and stuff to evolve it a little more. But this was a game that, for the longest time, it wasn't even in final release. It got successful before that, while in like alpha and beta, and eventually, was made a lot of fun for people online. But I always viewed it as too complicated for me. I think I played a very little bit of it, but this is a game that always just felt kind of over my head. And couple that with the not really having any goals outside of your own. I never spent too much time with it.
Like a Minecraft.
Yeah.
But Kerbal Space Program 2 is still in early access because of like developer layoffs and.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and
I didn't even realize that. I had thought of that had actually released.
Yeah, it said following the shutdown of Intercept Games, which was accompanied by developer layoffs.
Yeah.
And the sale of the private division by Take-Two, the current status of the development is unknown as of March 2025 on Wikipedia.
That's kind of crazy.
So, yeah, man, that game, because I was looking at it, say, like, that game was announced in 23, and, like, is it out? And, nah. It's not officially out, right. But you can... they still let you
play
get the early access.
They'll still take your money. Where that money goes to, God only knows.
Yeah. All right. So that's it for 2015. It's only a couple games that's worth even mentioning. So now we're going back 20 years, 2005, and we got Guild Wars came out. This was this still is a massive multiplayer online game that is still going on, even though there's a Guild Wars 2 out, but Guild Wars 1 is still popular. Just like almost it seemed like with all those popular MMOs, like if they have a 2, the first one seems like they're still around because EverQuest is still around. I know my old man played this game, and they just came out with some special stuff for the 20th anniversary. It was a game like at one time. Actually, I don't know if it was free to play from the beginning, and it was made free to play till later. I'm not sure.
I'm trying to think because I remember the boxes from Target, but it's like we were talking about before the podcast. They would sell stuff that was free to play, but you would get like bonus items and whatnot.
So I'm not sure if that was like made later in the game or not, but as of right now, it is free to play. But yeah, it's one of those. One of the popular MMOs out there that people play. I never played it personally. Like I said, my old man did. I mean, if you know what MMOs are, you know what this is. And yeah, man, it's been 20 years since that game came out. And
it's crazy.
Yeah. I was, for some reason, I didn't think it was that long. For some reason, it felt like it was newer. I don't know.
Yesterday, I was stocking this at Target, Dominic. Definitely was not 20 plus years ago.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that close to like World of Warcraft. I didn't realize it was that close in years.
Yeah.
But yeah, for some reason, I thought this was after Star Wars, The Old Republic, for some reason. Like, this game is still going on, man. Like these people, they still got these servers up. I mean, it's easy to do that. I guess you put them in other countries just to watch them, just to have them going.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got here? Darn, I left it here. All right. So, blah, blah, blah. Darn, there wasn't much here, but one more. Fire Emblem Path to Radiance came out for the GameCube 20 years ago. I mean, it got good reviews. Wasn't really into Fire Emblem.
Nah, I wasn't either at the time.
A lot later, and I'm not really. I wouldn't say I'm into it. I played one of them, and then I played the Dynasty Warriors versions of them, which I found out better because I enjoyed them more. But no, but Fire Emblem, I mean, I like the game style. I like the whole strategy aspect of it. Just didn't get to it. And then Nintendo games are expensive. So I never did. I never
Yep.
did really
Yeah.
bother to go really get them. But I did play that. I forgot which one it was, but it was one of the 3DS ones that I did really enjoy playing. But yeah, this is the one with you said who was up here? Was it Marth?
Marth, I think. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So who was the first guy?
What do you mean? Like who came first, Roy or
Yeah.
Marth, or is? I think Roy was actually first because I want to say I was just listening to something the other day and they were talking about how Roy was in one of the games that didn't originally come to the U.S. But was Marth in Smash Brothers before Roy, or were they both in the same? They were both in the same game, weren't they? But like
I have
Marth
no
was a
idea,
regular
man.
character, and Roy, I think, was an unlock or something like that.
Yeah, because I always kept thinking Marth. I always remember Marth more than Roy.
Yeah.
I remember blue hair. I remember the blue hair.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I realized at the time that this game came out, like how similar the Fire Emblem games were to Advance Wars, and maybe that's why I just never really, cared about the series at all. And still to this day, I haven't really played a Fire Emblem, but like you said, part of that is because just how expensive Nintendo games are. I haven't made it a priority to get one, but yeah, they've got a lot on the Nintendo Online now, and maybe I should jump into one of those Game Boy Advance ones or something.
Yeah, that's probably the only way. Because thing is, the cost of entry is like, dude, you gotta give us some demos at least, man. Come on, especially, man, you got $80 games now. Like, come on, man, you gotta put some
Yeah, we
demos out
definitely
now,
need to
man.
get back to demos. I mean, admittedly, they had some demos for the Switch games, of course.
Yeah, they
Like,
did.
it was the mid-tier stuff, right? Like the Yoshis and the Kirbys that they would give you because they're like, well, we know you're going to buy, the Smash Brothers and the Marios and the things of that nature. So we're not giving you demos there, but we might need some convincing. Or what I've found is like, oh, I'll let my daughter play this demo, and then she's like, I want to play more, and it's like, okay, now I see what Nintendo's thing is. Like, they give you the first hit for free, and then they want those kids to beg for more, Dominic.
All right, so that's it for 2005. Well, actually, no. There's one bit of news from Vivendi Games in 2005. The company settles the differences in lawsuit with Valve over distribution via Steam, the ownership of Half-Life's IP, and the right to grant license agreements for Valve's games to cyber cafes. Under the settlement, VU Games, which is Vivendi Universal, will cease distribution of retail packaged versions of Valve's games effective August 31st, 2005. Additionally, only Valve's licenses for cyber cafes become valid. So there you go.
This is the beginning of it all, Dominic. This is when Steam's like, all right, we've got or Valve's like, we've got Steam now. Like, this is it.
Yeah, we want ownership or
everything
everything.
back. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I think I remember seeing like those games were published by other guys, and so yeah, this is Valve's like taking it all back and creating the great monopoly of Steam that everyone loves. That's the good monopoly, right?
Yes.
I guess. It's
Whatever the most convenient for me monopoly is at the time is the best monopoly, Dominic.
yeah, exactly.
Which is why we thought the Microsoft monopoly was going to be okay, and then they screwed us up.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would just say that about Steam is does makes it convenient for as a consumer. It
Absolutely.
it is pretty good, and compared to anything else that's come after it, they haven't done anything to make it better than Steam. So I mean, I guess the argument for some people, yeah, they don't. Hey, I don't want to open another thing up. I understand it. I get it. Now, as far as like people who make games and stuff, the whole storefront deals and like how much percentage and stuff. See, that's different. But like consumers, you don't care about that. You just you want to buy games for the cheapest and easiest way possible.
Yep.
All right, so now we're going back 30 years ago to 1995, and we got Mortal Kombat 3 came out. I had forgot to say this for last week. Mortal Kombat 3 first release in arcades. And
that makes sense.
Yeah. And yeah, that was I don't know when it end up eventually come on the other systems. We'll find out later when we get to them, get to those dates. But I don't have much memory of Mortal Kombat 3. Like after 2, everything is pretty much a blur. I wasn't like really into it because I think at this time, was it 95? I wasn't really focused on fighting games that much. And I wasn't like a huge Mortal Kombat fan when I was young. Like, and I wouldn't say I was a huge fighting game fan. Like, I like playing them, but I wasn't like, I really had to play them at the time. It wasn't until like I got to Virtua Fighter and Tekken, I got my hands on those, I wanted to play fighting games again because I wanted 3D fighting games. So yeah, Mortal Kombat 3, I kind of missed the golden one. I know my friend at the time, he was really into Mortal Kombat. He used to love it. Like, cause he would know all the characters and their backgrounds and stuff. And I think they had the game at their home. I remember house, I seen it. Yeah, I mean, it looked cool. And I always see his characters say, oh, they got a lot of new characters and stuff like that. I'm trying to see who they got. Who was new that came in this one? Get here, see. Please have someone that says new characters. New character, yes, Cyrax. This is the first time he shows up. Also Cabal. First time he shows up. Nightwolf. Oh, Nightwolf. Oh, for some reason I always thought he was in 2.
3 was definitely.
He was well, I see that now, Daniel. You have to just say it again. Damn. Sector. Also the first one. Wait a minute, are they telling me these are the people who play these characters? Sal DeVita? Is he the actor who acted out these characters? Because it has this name beside the character.
Yeah.
Are these like the people who talk for him, or are they the people who are actually
Cyrax's real name, Dominic? Sal DeVita.
No, but Sal DeVita's next to Nightwolf also, and Sector.
Okay. Well, I mean, throw the costume on him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, are they the same guys? Yeah. They got cheap on us, Daniel.
You didn't know Sector and Cyrax were Native American. They would have you believe in this woke culture that,
Cabal was played by Richard DeVizio, something like that.
As it turns out, just all Italian guys.
You got Sindel. Sindel's is the first time being played. Resurrected Queen of Edenia, something like that. Like this is like Eden with the IA. And we got Shiva. This is her first time appearing. Wow, I don't have a name. This is stop motion.
Oh,
it don't have a character. She didn't have. Oh, she didn't have an actress. It was just stop motion. It was just a toy, and it just moved her around. Striker Michael O'Brien played the Striker.
That sounds about right. Yep. Irish cop. Surprise.
Yeah, Irish cop. Exactly. He probably was a real cop too. Probably got a lot of notches on his baton. All right. Returning. Oh yeah. So those were the new characters. Of course, they had returning characters and things of that nature. Then they had boss characters: Motaro, Shao Kahn, Noob, Sailbot. Yeah. So yeah, man. Okay, so that's where all those guys came from. Mortal Kombat 3, and then I know they had Ultimate in there coming out. Maybe a year later, maybe. I don't think it took that long for the Ultimate version to come out. It's got to be like.
And that's really where I jumped back into it.
I think that's what I played in the arcade was Ultimate One.
Same. Yeah, and then once Trilogy came out for the 64, that's what I was spending a lot of time on.
All right. Jumping Flash came out for the PlayStation 1 30 years ago. This was what, the first 3D platformer game?
It's something like that. Are you familiar with Jumping Flash? I always hear it talked about like it's a special thing for the PlayStation.
Yeah, I'm familiar as in like maybe like 4 or 5 years ago when I heard it was like the first 3D platformer for Mario 64. Yeah. Yeah, jumping. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yep, the first platform video game in true 3D. It holds a Guinness record as that.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was a Guinness like world record kind of thing.
Anything's a Guinness World Record if you pay them enough.
I mean, I'm saying I thought record was like Guinness World Records was like records of like not that kind of record. Like I thought it was like being the first to do something. I didn't think that was like a
because that's kind of an unbeatable record, right? Like that doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I went back in time, and now my 3D platformer. Here's this disc that I found that I had programmed the first 3D platformer. It just didn't come out in wide release.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I always think of records. Like Guinness World Records are something that possibly could be broken, like something like that, but not like being the first to ever do something. But anyway, this was the first 3D platformer, and I didn't hear about it until like 5 years ago. That's the thing. You know anything about it? Mario 64 stole his thunder. It's like, hey, we're here. It's like, who the hell are you? And is it even a good game? I got 84% on game rankings, but I didn't see enough from Metacritic.
Yeah.
But Edge gave it a 7 out of 10.
I mean, if Edge is given a 7 out of 10, then it's probably be like a 9 by US standards, Dominic.
Well, IGN gave it a 7.5.
Well, they just didn't get paid off enough, that's all.
Maxim gave it a 3. They were rating games back then?
Oh,
Maxim?
Yeah. Well, that old, though?
95?
Yeah.
Man.
I didn't even know Maxim existed in 1995.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Yeah, I didn't know Maxim existed probably till like the early 2000s. They gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. Now, Famitsu gave it a 34 out of 40. That's Japanese bias. Game Fan gave it a 279 out of 300. That is a weird way to do scoring. I think the highest score I see is like A- by Game Revolution. But yeah, man. Like I said, I didn't hear about this game till like some years ago because I forgot what story was. I think it's trying to see like first 3D platforming game, and this was it. And yeah, never. I see the gameplay of it and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think for 1995, this game looks gorgeous. Yeah. It looks pretty good, and it's pretty sad that they couldn't really get like it known. You know, I mean, shit. Like, I feel like PlayStation should have been like, man, shit, Mario's out. Let's just keep showing this game off or something. Saying like, look, man, we got this game if you don't got N64 and it's cheaper. But yeah, published? It was published by Sony. Okay. And the developer was Exact Ultra. The game plot begins on a crater planet and revolves around the story of an insane astrophysicist, Baron Alhala. I said that wrong. Baron Aloha. Planning to make a large profit from his evil ingenuity. Aloha removes giant pieces of land from the planet, uses a machine to turn them into private resorts. Aloha removes and hides the 12 jet pods that propel each world. When it seems the destruction, the residents of Crater Planet call for help, and in response, the Universal City Hall dispatches one of their agents, a mechanical rabbit named Robert. Ah, you get it? Like robot and rabbit together?
I didn't want to get it.
Robin is ordered to explore each world to retrieve the jet pods and stop Aloha and save Crater Planet from destruction. All right. Yeah, there you go, man. That's cool. In 1996, Next Generation listed it as the number 86 on their top 100 games of all time, saying it created the genre of 3D platforming. They particularly praised the vertigo-inducing sense of height as Robert leaps from platform to platform. In 2007, Greg Miller, your boy, of IGN, condemned the graphics as dated, having jagged edges and muddled colors, and said every aspect of the game is weak and that has not stood the test of time. This was in 2007. He said this. Why
it turns
are
out.
they? I mean, is this his review for a 1995 game? What did they try to do a re-release and didn't do anything to it? That's what it was. Because
I don't know.
I'm about to say him saying it's dated is like yeah.
yeah, playing an old game.
It's like what the hell? All right. So we're still in 1995, and we got Full Throttle came out 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I didn't play it until when it got re-released, recently on, I guess it's last year now, consoles, and I still didn't finish it. And, I'm only at the very beginning. Like always says, it's gonna come back. And now that it's been on Game Pass and stuff, I was like, I got plenty of time to come back. And one of these days I will, Daniel. I will go back to play that game.
Yeah.
Just like Grim Fandango. Grim Fandango, I actually got further in and I stopped.
Yeah.
I think I got to a part where I got kind of stuck. But yeah, I do want to play this game because I do like those point and click old style games. And this is one of those games I didn't play because it came really after. I want to say it came after my time. It came in 95, but I wasn't too focused on PC gaming. I think I was still kind of in the throes of like my Genesis, and then the next year it was N64 and 96, and then 97 is PlayStation. So I really stepped away from the PC. But yeah, Full Throttle. This was a LucasArts game. I didn't go into detail of that. LucasArts game, the guys who did Day of the Tentacle, Monkey Island, and others. They done this. Yeah, they done like those funny point and click games.
Yeah.
It deals with the biker gang and things of that nature. The plot, I know it's like the last domestic motorcycle manufacturer in the country is Corley Motors, whose founder and CEO, the elderly Malcolm Corley, is en route to the shareholders meeting at the Corley factory, accompanied by his vice president, Adrian Ripburger, who is spoken by Mark Hamill, the great Mark Hamill.
Nice.
Malcolm suspects that Ripburger is scheming to take over the company and is suspicious of Ripburger's plan to recruit a biker gang to ride with them to the meeting. Malcolm's limousine is overtaken by one such gang, the Polecats. Is immediately impressed with them. Catching up to them at a biker bar, he quickly befriends their leader, Ben, spoken by Roy Conrad. Ripburger, Roy Conrad, let me see who he is. I don't know him. Ripburger offers to hire the Polecats, escort Malcolm to the meeting, but when Ben declines, he is knocked out by Ripburger's flunkies, Bolus and Nestor. And I'll just stop right there, and I'm gonna go too much into it. But yeah. And anything else come out? Oh yes, Knuckles Chaotix came out on the 32X. A game I didn't know existed until like a few years ago, or probably months ago actually. I think it was months ago because we saw it, and I did not know this. Yeah, I did not know this game existed. I didn't know there was a Knuckles game. Maybe I've seen it. And it doesn't stick with me. Maybe because it was on 32X and whatever. But yeah, now I want to try it, and I'm kind of mad that this isn't on one of their collections. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's it. That is it for the flashback segment. So we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. So let's get to the gaming news. What we got?
All right, Dominic, I had it in the news section, but it's appeared everywhere else. Oblivion Remaster, it was announced, it was released on April 22nd, and that's all we got to say about that. Next up, you had mentioned that when we were talking about the Mario Kart Direct last week, that we forgot to mention one of the more important aspects of what they've added to the game, and there's going to be a rewind feature. I think that may have appeared in the original Switch debut thing, but they didn't really elaborate on it. In this, they did, and it's really pretty cool. Like, you can do it anywhere, either in the open world or when you're doing like online races, but everybody else in the world will still be moving forward. So if it is advantageous to you to, like, if you really majorly messed up a jump or something and got stuck into something, might still be worth using. But it is really cool to see somebody finally take this from Forza Horizon, because it's been
Forza
in general, yeah. It's been one of their best features, because it makes the game that much more accessible to people, I feel like. I mean, it was especially the case in like Forza, because like you don't take those corners right and it's like, oh, you're going to pay for this. In Mario Kart, maybe less so, but obviously it does lead to more accessibility. So that's really cool.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'll honestly say like that's a huge feature. Like I'm happy that they got that in there.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool. It was announced this week that Frostpunk is going to be returning. Frostpunk 1886 is going to be a reimagining of the original game, releasing in 2027. So they're going to be co-supporting Frostpunk 1886 as well as Frostpunk 2, which came out somewhat recently.
So they're gonna so they're doing a reimagining,
a remake, essentially. Remaster.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But they still, Frostpunk 2 just came out.
Yeah, and Frostpunk 1 doesn't feel like it's that old a game, Dominic.
It really isn't. I mean, I played it, and
I think, what was it, 2016?
It's that old? I don't think it's that old.
No, maybe I was 2018.
Yeah, I was about to say, because like this Warmon probably came out maybe that. Yeah, like that came out 2018. Frostpunk 2 just came out, and already you're doing a reimagining of the first one. Jesus.
Just like, why?
like I always felt like, because when I saw Frostpunk 1886, I thought it was like some expansion for Frostpunk 2. I'm like, so are they still working? Are they still doing expansion stuff with that one too?
Yeah, it sounded like they were going to be working on, supporting both, giving content to both of those games.
Oh,
I mean, obviously this one has to release first.
I guess they got a big studio. Oh, it's not released until 2027.
Yeah, 2027.
All right, but it's just weird to be announcing it so soon after 2. Like I don't know. It just feels weird. Like 2 hasn't got,
especially when it's so far away, right?
Yeah, it's so far away, and 2 hasn't got like a expansion or nothing yet, and you're already talking about Frostpunk 1886. Now 2027, I guess that's almost 10 years. Almost 10 years from the original one. I guess that's not really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way games are. It's just the way games are played now. It's just that they last longer. It's not like, because it's not like back in the day. You release a game, that's it. It's done. Like what games that do are like that are usually, they don't usually do. They're not, haven't done well. Because Frostpunk didn't release till 2018, but it's not like, but it's been played from those years because they have added stuff. So even 10 years is not really like 10 years. It's probably like less, because it's like, you added some content and stuff. So it's like you're doing rematch. It's like almost at that point you're asking for either a sequel, but you have a sequel now. You have 2. I don't know. It just seems weird, like to announce that now and not like you almost can wait. I don't know. It just seems a little
Yeah, I mean it's
Weird how they
doing
did that.
the thing that like the Oblivion remake is or remaster is done, which is like, oh, we're doing this game now in Unreal Engine 5. And there's got to be some layer to it where it's like, okay, the reason they do this is because they want to get experience for their developers with Unreal Engine 5. But again, at the same time, like why announce it so early and so soon after Frostpunk 2 if if that's the intention. I mean, we see with Oblivion, like they were like, nope, we don't know anything about that until here it is. It's done. We had some guys working on this. You're welcome.
Yeah, I just don't understand the excitement level. If you have Prospect 2, it's like you're probably still playing it. And it's like, oh yeah, I can't wait for this. It's like, wait a minute. It's like I don't know. It just seems like it's weird to put this news out there now. Like I feel like this is some announcement you probably just I would just hold off to like the Killy show or something. Like one of them. Like maybe like the last show of the year or something. Say, hey, this would be out in 2027 or something. I wonder why I had to put that news out now. Okay, I don't know. I mean that's cool. Yeah, it's just like, hey, okay. All right, so Ghosts of Yo. Oh, well, I don't want to. I'm sorry, I spoiled your
You're
news
good.
there.
Yeah, Ghost of Yote.
Yeah.
They released a new trailer for that as well as a release date for this. It's coming out October 2nd, 2025. So we're locked in here, Dominic. I think that means Grand Theft Auto is not coming out until after October 2nd.
Well, you think how they get the news?
Sony's got a deal. I don't know that they've got firm news, but I would imagine they
or they just gave up. They said,
or
"Fuck
maybe
it."
we're gonna find out that this is 2 days before Grand Theft Auto comes out,
and they'll just change the date.
I was gonna say they would just move the date then.
Yeah, I'll just change it. I'll say, yeah, I'll say it right now until Grand Theft Auto say their date, and then when they say it, I'll say, okay, we're moving.
As it turns out, I can release it earlier. Ba-bam, here you go.
I was about to say, I would think like, hey, can we release it earlier? Say, yes, but just put it for this date, so that when Grand Theft Auto says their date, we can move it up and be like, oh, we're going to come out early.
Exactly. And then we'll release a broken product because it won't actually be finished. But, Yeah, so, I mean, that's awesome. PlayStation actually has a big exclusive this year. That's not something they had last year. First party exclusive, obviously. They had Final Fantasy last year. But this game looks cool. I haven't spent any time with Ghost of Tsushima, but that reviewed well. I know you've spent some time with it a little bit. It very much feels from this trailer that they are going down a similar path to Assassin's Creed. So I'm interested to see.
Are you climbing stuff in this game?
Well, I mean, you're to a lesser extent than in Assassin's Creed game, but you're climbing less in Assassin's Creed as well.
Well, the latest one, yeah.
Yeah. But as far as the way it's set up, it's basically you're going on kind of a revenge tour of this group of villains the same way that you are.
When are you not on revenge?
I mean, obviously, but just the like, hey, here's the head of this gang, and then you're going after kind of their lieutenants or whatever. Okay. But yeah, it looks promising, obviously. And yeah, so we shall see how the end of this year fares. How confident are you, Dominic, that Grand Theft Auto will make it out this year?
I don't know. I'll say like 70-something%.
Yeah,
I put it around there. I mean, for some reason, I think it'll come out. It'll come out this year, and it will cost a lot. And then I'll just be like, well, I'll just be watching videos on YouTube.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about it anyway, right? It's not coming to the PC right away.
Well, I ain't gonna be able to run it anyway. So I mean, it can come on PC right now. Yeah, I can't. I'm sure there's gonna be something I probably can't run it.
You don't think? I mean, I definitely.
Well,
remember.
I wonder because a lot of games. There's only been a few games, that have required the RTX.
Right.
Actually, it's only can think of one big game, honestly. because Alan Wake doesn't do that.
Yeah, they
Anymore.
went
It
back on
was
that.
yeah. Only Final Fantasy is the only game I know of that requires it.
Yeah, so if
Like
that's the only limitation, which almost feels in a lot of ways like an artificial limitation, maybe. But I do remember, playing Grand Theft Auto 5 on my PC and having a lot of hitching at the time, to the point where like was reading forums like other people talking about how they were running it on their, I think 970 at the time, and like I just didn't get why mine was hitching in the way that it was.
I don't know because I played it on my 970 recently, and like I said, I think it's because of them optimizing the game later on. I think there's been updates and optimizations to that game that made it because it ran well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think they I mean the game's been out for so a long, even on PC now, that they have done things to make it better, and even in this new version, is the optimization's done well. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how long it's going to be till it come on PC and what's the requirements going to be when by the time it does. Um, and what's the state of the world going to be like? What the fuck? I don't know. How much it's going to cost? Like I
State
don't
of the
know.
world will be
Yeah.
less of a satire than, or more of a satire than Grand Theft Auto will be. It's
Oh
going to
yeah,
fall
but we gotta
flat
talk
because
about
it's not as funny.
we got to talk the Nintendo. There was some news out there. People, there was just some like debates and people complaining about some with Nintendo on oh yes, that their game some like the I know we talked about Zelda and then with the DLC and stuff like that
Yeah.
had to pay for. Oh, but games on their cartridge, like people are having they're upset that they're not having some of their games,
Right.
even
They're
their
selling
own
those like keys or whatever, basically
keys.
cartridges with a
Yes.
code that unlocks a
While
digital
like
version.
Cyberpunk actually put the whole game on their darn cartridge, and
Yeah.
like people are complaining, it's like, wait a minute, why aren't you putting your game on a cartridge? Now, I saw some people saying that, well, they're the new PCEI, whatever the hell the acronym is, but it's it costs more than what the other those SD cards, whatever they were using, costs, and that's why it's saving on costs. Like, and like someone says, like, yeah, they understand for third parties perspective. Like Bravely Default is not on the cartridge, and thing is, people like Bravely Default. It like how big is that
I
game?
was
It
gonna
should
say,
be on
that
the
doesn't
cartridge.
feel like a game that should
Yes,
be that
but
big.
it's the cost. It's the cost of putting on that other format.
Yeah.
That's what people are saying. I haven't heard. Of course, you don't hear
I mean, I
Square
guess
say that.
my question would be, what is the alternative to that then?
There is none. Just download.
I mean, that's the reality, right? Is like, to me, what's the alternative of that? If you want a different, like, what other format is going to be cheaper?
And that,
I would
exactly.
imagine,
And that's what
like, they can't
that's
use a
what I was
standard
saying,
SD
Daniel.
card because of some sort of like security protocol or something.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like for the people who want to, they all talk about they want to. What's the word I'm looking for? To keep copies, like they have their own copy. They have their
Preservation.
game. Preservation, yeah, preservation. That what's so okay? You get what these companies are doing. Are you just saying they should just eat it? Or do you have another alternative so it can be without preservation? And I think at the end of the day, I think that's what I think these guys are saying. Just telling the companies to eat it,
Yeah.
like eat that cost. And I don't know the business that well to know if it's now. I know Nintendo can eat it. So
Sure,
I think
yeah.
I think all their games should be on that damn thing because they fucking made the format.
Or maybe that's what people are looking for, is Nintendo to eat it from a supplier standpoint, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I think somebody said that
they
too.
should be
Yes,
supporting these smaller developers
Yes, I think that somebody did say that.
with the resources
that-
they need.
They should pay, like, because you made this format for them to can sell it. And got people say they want to have these games. And then there's an argument that, well, you don't only own the game. But so, yeah, but that becomes semantics at the end of the day. Like, you can say, I don't own the game, but I have it. and they're not going to come and get it from me. So you at least you have that game. Now I don't like. I personally don't care, but I understand. I understand how people feel about ownership. Like, but I'm in the mindset like this one guy said, because he says like, what's the man? I get what he's saying, but you still own it. Like he say, like in a movie, like, hey, you buy a movie. Say you buy a movie on VHS or something like that years ago, like a long time ago. You got a movie, or you have one movie on VHS. You're not watching it anymore. What's the difference? Even though you own it, what's the difference between that and saying that you don't own it? I mean, because you're not watching it. What's the difference? Right. Like, who cares? But I mean, you still technically own it.
The availability of me being able to watch it if I ever want.
Yeah, yes. But and then I mean. But also, for me personally, and the reality is, I'm never going to watch it. So there is no difference.
Yeah.
There is no difference. I don't feel anything from owning this. It does nothing. Like, in my mind, I can make it feel like, hey, I own this thing. But the reality is, I'm not looking at it. It's nothing, really. It's there.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing anything.
I think a lot of the reason why I have moved away from physical media, whether it be games or movies or what have you, because like at some point, I guess there was some reassurance of, oh, hey, look at all these things I have on my shelf. But over the long term, that's just a burden of having to move it if you move, your house or whatever, or having to deal with the fact that it's taking up space. And now if something's there's kind of a hoarding aspect to it, right? Where it's like, oh, I can just have all these digital things and never really worry about it until, oh no, all of a sudden my SD card's filled up. But that's kind of a positive to me. I don't have to think about that really. Oh, it's over there in my computer. My computer takes up this much space. Maybe I have to pop another hard drive in there occasionally, but the physical aspect of this stuff does not give me any sort of comfort in it remaining, preservation wise. I think video game companies have destroyed that illusion a long time ago. So I very much appreciate the efforts of the piracy community for doing a lot of the work of preservation. Like Xbox talks a big game, and they have much better backwards compatibility than a lot of these companies.
I don't want Nintendo to sue us, so except for Nintendo games.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously.
They're horrible. They're horrible people for doing this. Everybody else is good.
Well, and to
I'm just joking. I'm joking.
To Nintendo's defense, the virtual console was very much like, hey, we're giving you the opportunity to have these games.
Well, they
again.
took that away from us,
and they took it away.
That's why I say, like, Nintendo, like someone said, like, I get what they were saying, but the people, I also get how people responded to this guy, what he made his comment, because it's kind of hard. It's hard to explain things in Twitter. Like, you got to really write it out.
Sure, yeah.
Because he was saying, like, how Nintendo is like the worst businessmen, but they make money or something like that. It's like, because it's like this. It's like, yeah, like they know they can sell this stuff for this price and stuff, and people will buy it, or at least they assume, because the Wii U and stuff like that didn't happen. But
yeah,
but see, yeah, because like with that, but they could also do much more,
they're following
and make
the Disney
more money.
Model. They think they're clever by like holding this stuff back and eventually giving it to you.
It's like, and like it's like you can make more money. It's like yeah, it's like they do things like and make a lot of money. That's like, darn, you can make more money. Like, why did you stop selling the Mario collection?
Yeah,
but what was there's no reason for that.
Artificial
like, there's no logical
scarcity, reason. But then, what happens?
And then y'all don't drop prices. And y'all don't drop prices of games. Why did you stop it?
What happens when artificial scarcity turns into actual scarcity? I mean, the crazy thing about that, though, is like after they took it down digitally, you still had like Best Buys with 10,000 copies of it. And then it did actually drop in price.
And then you have
now I wonder how much
like,
that
you
is.
have this whole
Nintendo
backlog.
already got their money, so Best Buy kind of got screwed on that deal, but still.
you got this whole backlog, and you have it where people can play these old games and stuff. It's like, dude, you can do a service.
Yeah.
People can just play those old games,
And people
just
have
be getting money.
proven like you can just if you jailbreak your Switch, you can just put ROMs on there and run it in their emulator, like in the NSO emulator. So like they have the ability to like make these. I mean, obviously, a lot of their games are on these services, right? So
yeah, it's their game. I ain't talking about like the other licensed stuff. I ain't talking about like third party stuff. I mean,
yeah.
they can, like I said, but like you said, you can make it people work deals with certain games. But dude, it's like y'all can make so much money, but it's like y'all don't mean y'all can make even more, but you don't. It's like I said, I feel like it's an Illuminati thing. It's like somebody's behind that saying like you can only do this, but you can't go that far. You make too much money. It's like they told Xbox, they told Microsoft, they're like, okay, we let you do great with 360. But you know what? Sony is not doing well overall, their company. You know, the movie industry is looking bad. We got to give them the PlayStation. You got to help them out.
Yeah.
You got to make the world, you know, we got to keep it even and everything. So fuck up on the Xbox One. And then you're going to go third party, help them out, put some games on their system too and everything. Like, you still make your money, though. You still want to be good, Microsoft. I just feel like it's all this like they all work. I mean, I don't really believe it's no line stuff, but it does make me think like, come on, man, these guys supposed to be smarter than this. So it's like, it's almost like it's got to be a reason. Like, I know mistakes happen.
Why are they tying their own shoes together?
Yeah, it's like yes, I know mistakes happen. Like things in business happen. Like sometimes you make a call and you don't know. You think something's going to solve something and it don't, and like something don't work, and the shit happens. But some things I feel like you could have seen. You could have seen this. And it's like, I don't know. But yeah, so like Nintendo doing that, like Cyberpunk being all on that thing is almost like, yeah, it gets people ask questions like, wait a minute, so why aren't all these games like that? If Cyberpunk can fucking put their whole damn game up here. And I mean, and people, like most people, they don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm just going by what people are saying online that, because of the cost of how much it is to do it.
Right.
I'm just going by that. I have no idea if that's really true because I haven't got from anybody of any note to say that officially. So I'm just going to be mad. Like, man, why I'm buying a freaking case just to download?
Yep.
Like, I might as well, what's the point of me having? What's the point of buying the case then? What's the point of me buying that?
I mean, there's a lot of people that'll say, the reason it's there is to have floor space in retail so that like a grandmother can pick up a game for their kid.
And then there's people who just like to have things on shelves.
And there are. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was probably one of them at one point.
Yeah. And also, I mean, some people probably just don't know. They don't read the box and they just think it's the game.
Yeah.
And it's also
and in a lot of ways, I mean, the same way. I mean, this isn't a new concept. Like, this is what we've been doing since the PS4 and Xbox One, basically.
I mean,
you bring a disc home and you still have to download something for 2 hours before you get to play it. So in a lot of ways, like, I don't think this affects a younger generation than us in the same way that it might we just complain about it because that's how it is to them. They won't even most of the people won't even recognize if they put one of these things in their console that it doesn't have the game on it.
No. And
I think that's the reason why you do it. If it's saving you costs, the general consensus, the mainstream is going to be, okay, I put my card in here and now I can play the game, whether it takes, instantaneously boots up or whether it takes 2 hours for me to download whatever. But there's a good chance, even if it was all on the cart, like Cyberpunk, I'm going to have a day one update that I've got to install. So again, I mean, I think we're on the same page here. That's why we've moved away from the physical thing, is because the physical game that releases on day one isn't the game I want to play most of the time anymore. So
Yeah,
I
mean,
could I
but
could
those
be
all
in a Faraday cage and play Cyberpunk that I bought on my disc on the PlayStation 4 or whatever, or PlayStation 4 was the one that was the biggest trouble, right? Or PlayStation 5. It was PlayStation 4. I could play that, but I'd be having a terrible experience. So
yeah. So I never get, and that's the thing I always have a problem
is
with.
that what you want to preserve?
I never get that from the preserve guys to explain that away. About, yeah, you have this, but your whole thing is that, like, yeah, you're able to still play that game that looks good because you downloaded the patch.
Yeah.
And like, in this time of when you say, is this going to be gone forever? It hasn't come yet. Like, what game has come that has done that?
The Crew.
And I'm not
I
talking
can't
about
play the Crew
only
anymore.
online games. I'm not talking about only online games or something like that. I'm talking about, like, what game has happened that was you download
and they actually remove it from your system.
Yeah, and that you can't download it ever again. So because you have the patch already downloaded, you're still good. Like, I don't know, man. It's just,
and it's not
plus,
it's not a game per se, but PT I think is the closest thing we've gotten to that.
Yeah, that's the closest thing, and then the biggest thing too. And then I mean, me also Tom. Like, you can have all these games, but the Tom, how much time do you have to play and to go back to play?
Not nearly enough.
So I get it. I get, like, the ownership thing, but I think that's what it is that as time kept going on, I was looking like, yeah, I have these games, but I don't have no time to play. Just like my friend, he just kind of got that because he got a dude he met who gave him like a hard drive full of all these emulators where he could play all these old console games, and so he was doing that because he's been on dialysis and stuff. Oh yeah, shout out to Harry, congratulations on this kidney transplant.
Oh wow,
good job.
Nice.
Yeah, he got the so he been playing, but he's just saying, like, because he's playing a lot of old game stuff, but he's just saying, like, darn, man, I just don't have the time to go. I say, I'm so happy I finally get this. I always said I wanted this, but darn, I have no time to do it. I said, yeah, man, that's the thing. At the end of the day, time, it becomes the biggest enemy to all that. To that, it makes it easy for me to, like, not that I don't care. It's just that it don't make sense. I look at it, it says it doesn't make sense for me to care to have, like, this stuff. It's okay for me to have digital because by the time it probably become where those games technically, quote unquote, don't exist or something I can't play, I'll be either long dead or worrying about something else.
Yeah.
Or don't even care to play that game again.
Either be long dead or in the middle of the Second Civil War.
Yeah. It's just,
here's me in camp just playing with my Amberneck, wishing I could go back to the days of playing Secret of Evermore of my youth. Writing flowery text messages to the love of my life from the front lines.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Just like Civil War letters, but via text with emojis.
I know.
Just add a nice eggplant at the end of this one.
It's like, oh, this food tastes like shit, like poop emoji that he had to eat today. But yeah, that's what I saw. Like, people really like talking about on those things or the cards and stuff. And man, my argument really with that stuff is that I don't know why they should still cost that much. That's the thing. It's like, so why are you still charging this much for fucking games?
Okay, yeah. Well, I would say that's the thing, right? But at the same time, digital games aren't any cheaper than physical copies. So I outside of
that's
the
what
fact,
I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm saying that why they something should be cheaper.
Something, yeah, exactly. There should be a hierarchy, right? A full game on the
should not cost
cartridge
as much.
Can be your $80 game. The key card should be $70, and then a digital copy should be $60.
Yeah, I like, come on, man. It's like, yo, if you're just doing digital, man, I'm sorry. Like, I don't like. I get the whole thing of, oh, but we gotta keep the price the same. Nah, that's convenient. That's the thing. There you go. Like, hey, you want something physical? You don't have good enough internet. You go get the physical, even though you still. I mean, assuming you're getting a physical that has a game on it,
Yeah.
because then it kind of sucks if you got the digital thing.
The worst of
But
both worlds.
yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm saying with the internet thing. Like the whole thing is like, hey, I get it for the people who say, hey, if you got sucky internet, this sucks. I say, yeah, it does. I mean, and I'm not saying that as being like I don't care. No, that does suck. But I think that's when there should be. That's why things should be cheaper or cost more. Like I don't want to know. I don't want them to raise the price of your physical thing. No, keep that shit at whatever the hell it is. That digital should be cheaper. That's like shit because I ain't have you have to go through that and you have to go through the whole the packaging stuff. It's like, come on, man, it's bull. It's bull that shit is 60 bones or more, 60 or more, 80, whatever it's gonna be, digital, and like, yeah, you just putting that game out there. It's like get the hell out of here. Like you going through no manufacturing of anything, no shipping costs, nothing. Just straight internet. Just straight like CyberWire or whatever shit web. Like just going right through.
Yeah.
All right, that's about it.
No.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm playing some baseball on Switch though.
Yeah.
I one day I gotta just remember what the new stuff. Well, I haven't really done. See, I haven't done a lot because I've been doing these quick cutting games, so haven't seen all the features. I know some features different as far as like player interaction. I know you can fielding. Oh, I did field in like first person, and I messed up, and so I'm not used to that yet.
Oh no.
So I mean that's something new. I'm trying to think something else new that I actually did, not that I just saw. I know there's some features like as far as like not stats, but there's some UI differences in the franchise mode than the other modes. I can't remember. Maybe I'll have to write them down when I see them do it. But there's some changes there that nothing that I don't dislike though. I think they are pretty cool though. I do think they need to do more. Like I said, they still need to put that feature in where they can tell me am I breaking a team's record, not just the overall record. Like tell me they could. Well, they do on the now. Oh no, they do have it on the scroll or like before a game. They have a thing said like, hey, this is the biggest news in the league. Like before you start a game, it'll say like this guy's on a something hitting streak. This guy is batting this like batting like 500 something for the last 10 games or something like that. Like they do in real life, which I want to be able to see that. Like as good that they show it there, like, but they only show certain players. Like I want to see like my team. Like I can just go in the menu and see like, hey, what's my guy doing these last few games? And they do have something that do show me what you done in each specific game for players, which I'm glad they do that now. I remember they used to do that before a long time ago. But I want something like that where it shows like, hey, the last 10 games, this guy's been batting this guy's been doing this how good they've been specifically within that time frame. So I can know like how to change my lineup a bit. A lot easier. But yeah, it's a lot of features I want, but I know they want to just spend time on that online card stuff, man. That's the thing. So it's always
Yeah.
slow for us people who just like to play just franchise mode. All right, so Doris Sanders still have not been picked up yet. We're on the fourth round
Rough.
right now. ESPN actually has him as best available. This is the first time I've seen him. Well, I don't really be up here much, but I just turned it here. But I've never seen him on best available. So
Been best available for the last 10 years, Dominic, on this draft.
10 years
Yep.
on this one draft somehow, Daniel. Okay,
It's weird how that happens, isn't it?
yeah. What number? They are on the 23rd pick of the NFL, of the round 4.
Rough.
So it's like 36 picks apparently, because I think some people got some extra picks or something. I forgot how that works. Don't ask me how that shit works. Because only 32 goddamn teams.
Yeah.
But somehow people get some extra
I get
shit.
bonus picks.
Yeah. But the Chargers are the next pick, and they don't need a quarterback, so unless they want him for a backup.
Yeah. Can you
That's what
pick somebody
that's
up
what I
in the
figured.
draft and then immediately trade them to somebody else? Can you pick up
Yes. Yeah, you can do that.
like, oh, I know I don't need a quarterback, but the team behind me needs a quarterback, so I'm going to pick this guy up and then say,
Yeah,
hey.
I mean, there's been cases of that.
Yeah.
Like somebody picks somebody else need, and they, you want something on their team, and say, hey, I'll give you this guy or that guy.
Gotcha.
There's also been trades of just straight the same position because a guy might say, I don't want to play for you, like Eli Manning,
Yeah.
saying he don't want to play for the San Diego Chargers. So they traded Phillip Rivers from the Giants to him. And I mean, Eli won 2 Super Bowls, but I always argue that Phillip Rivers was the better quarterback. It's just Eli had a better team.
Yeah.
That's my argument. You know,
And
some
he
people say
knew it, Dominic. That's why I wanted to go.
well, he didn't know at the time. He didn't know because that team changed when they won the Super Bowl. But
He knew the
I think he just
management
wanted-
was going to support him.
yeah,
the way he wanted.
exactly. It's probably was a thing. I know that. Yeah. I do like how when the Mannings have the show on Monday Night Football and what's his name, Ed Reed. He was a guest on their show, and he asked Eli like, how did you get the NFL to let you go pick the team you want to go? He said Eli wouldn't answer. They try like Manning, like Peyton Manning try to talk about the game, like and keep the conversation going. He said, how'd you do that? How'd you get to the? I was like, oh man. I say I like how like Ed Reed never gonna be invited on that show again because he was definitely saying things and asking the questions. He was asking the questions we wanted to hear though. So I was like, how you fleece? Yeah, why? How you do? How you just made him say like, hey, I don't want to be on this team. I remember what's his name? Quarterback for the Broncos, who was a quarterback for the Broncos. Elway.
Peyton Manning.
Elway did that with the Colts.
Yeah.
He said he want to play for the Colts.
It's a level of status that we all aspire to, Dominic.
Yeah. All right then, man. I guess we can finish it up.
All right. New releases, Dominic, most of which we've already mentioned. The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, and S, of course. We talked about that already. Clair Obscur Expedition 33, PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, and S. Again, you mentioned that earlier, as well as Fatal Fury City of Wolves. Out now on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. And a new one here, Dominic, Days Gone Remastered, coming to the PS5. For all of those people that don't have any other better games to play, apparently.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, there's people who love that game, but it's like you already have that game. You asking for a sequel, and they just give you a remaster. And,
yep. But you got to buy it anyway, so that they'll make a sequel.
Yeah, that's somebody say, "Hey, buy this game." Say, "I'm not buying this game." That's somebody say, "I'm not buying this game again."
Not buying this game.
It's like, yeah, it's like, dude, like if that's the incentive, like for me to rebuy a game before you can make it, nah, man. I just gotta hope that new people who never played the game buy it, or somebody like that loser goes in and buy it and buys like a few copies. It's like, I don't mean to say loser, but no, but anybody who's called somebody to buy a game because you want to make another one, no, you are, because it's like it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah. They should have all the sales figures to justify whether or not they want to do it.
Yeah.
Take a poll.
And
take a Twitter poll.
And since, and like, look, man, I already bought the game. I just got to convince people who have not bought the game before to get it. You do that. Don't tell me to.
Yeah.
Buy this damn game
Buy it again. Give these people more of my money. All right, Dominic, those are our releases this week. Anything else for the people?
Nah, man. Nah, I'm good.
Thank you guys, as always, for listening. You check us out on Twitter. Dominic's at DStallworth5. I'm at RegulusMB. The podcast is also on Blue Sky at superpod.com, at RegulusMB.sky.social, and at DinoMans at DominicStallworth.bluesky.social. We also have a website. It is superpod.com, SUPAPOD. Has links to it has all of our previous podcasts, as well as links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, YouTube Music, Spotify, Amazon, Audible, or any other place you might find an audio podcast. And until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right, see ya.